be over here. And then we want to be here. I want to pop out the chat. I don't know if there's a way to pop out the chat. I keep forgetting. I don't want to embed the chat. I just want the chat open. That's all I want. I just want the chat open. Restream chat. There we go. Yes, I want it on my drawing tablet, please. That is what I want. No, get fuck out of here. Restream chat. There we go. Okay, we'll try that. We'll see how that works. So I'm probably gonna have to go back to the YouTube chat or the Twitch chat. But James Catboy, welcome in. Welcome. Why can I see gray at the bottom of my screen?
No idea.
I probably don't need Photoshop open right now.
Probably not.
Okay. You're invisible again, by the way. I'm invisible? Oh, no. Hold on a second. Forgot to turn on the bird, man. I also don't have music playing today. Installizing. Okay. Also satisfied with this notification, but Twitch works worse at this location. Bummer. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, I think it's a good idea to try to stream on both. I think it's a better option if my computer can handle it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, at the very least, you have a greater opportunity to reach a broader audience. So.
Yeah. I just have to sell my soul to Daddy Bezos.
Which, unfortunately, from a business perspective, is a good investment.
Yeah. Everybody's got to do that anyway, so whatever. Does the crow have an official name? No, it's just me.
It's just Rook's persona.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I never did give you any useful feedback on a icon to represent me.
Which reminds me, yeah, Corvus is around, so I can put Corvus's thing up.
I should just make myself. I should just make myself an icon for you.
Yeah, let's make a tiny bird, or not. We'll just make a tiny. We'll start a tiny aviary. Oh no! What's going on there? Those were not circles at all. Is that just me?
It feels very choppy.
Yeah. Is that
check
same
your
for you?
stabilizer. Yeah. No, I'm seeing you're drawing polygons, not circles.
Yeah. Did they change
What's your
brushes
stabilizer
again?
at? Yeah, maybe.
Or is
What did you do?
is my driver broken?
It's working fine for me. I can get curves.
I'm really worried the kid broke my tablet.
Better, but I'm still getting a couple angles. I don't know.
Let me try this. Let me try a different walk-on pen. It's still chunky. Okay, so it's not it's not the pen. Could be the driver. Could be the driver. Could be the brush. Weird. What if I zoom in? Apparently we're drawing chunk bees today. Probably because I have the Pokemon Corviknight on my mind. Yeah. It's happening with every streamer, so I feel like it's a thing. Oh, you feel like it's a me thing. Sorry, what did I miss? It's getting errors with the Bezos thing after ads. Ooh, weird. It is the viewer suggestions today. We're going to try to get some viewer suggestions done before the kiddo wakes back up. He did just get fed and put to sleep, so we'll see how long we get. But then hopefully on Friday I'll have a little bit of... I'll probably be an early stream on Friday, and I should be able to be a little more attentive. As Jumper will be working from home that morning, so I won't have to be quite so focused. It's a squirt bee. I was going to put out a post. I think I put it out on Instagram yesterday. So if you saw that, give that a look. But I wanted to share my little artwork for the game I'm working on. And I wanted people's opinions, so feel free to give opinions. Oops, sorry, Druid.
What? Oh, that's okay.
We'll put him over here. I'm hesitant to go to pixel art. Just because that's a whole different thing, and I really want to get my art style into a video game.
Yeah, totally.
So I like this, and I like the thick lines. I think I'm going to thicken up the line on the helmet earpiece over here. But this versus like a pixel art version of it. That's what I want people to think about. Yes, no, changes, thoughts. Is pixel art just better because video game?
Because nostalgia.
Yeah. Blue just have that big Schadenfreude energy. Also, I can't tell you if the character in the thumbnail is male or female, but it's cute. I think it's a robot goblin. I think that's what it was. I think it was supposed to be a robotic goblin, so androgyny for the win.
I mean, I never really grew up with super pixelated games, so...
Like, I think Hollow Knight and, like, if you try to make a platformer, which I kind of am, like, I'm building a tower defense game, but really the end goal is, if this works, and I'm using the tower defense game as a way to, like, practice coding and try some weird shit, because it's simpler than building, like, a whole platformer.
Yeah.
Which, in some ways, that's not true, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We decided to make a tower defense game first. And where was I going with that? Oh, Hollow Knight. If you talk about platformers, you instinctively go to Hollow Knight and like Ori and the Blind Forest because those are the two best, like, beautifully drawn ones.
Yep.
I don't plan on going that extensive into it, right? Like,
yeah.
Those.
I also don't think you have to.
Right, like. Fully painted, like, matte backgrounds are beautiful, but that's not my jam. So if this does really well and we make like $1 million, I'll hire somebody to do that. But yeah, this is the chibi version of the Blasphemer. This is the Blasphemer from Blasphemy. Is that what it's called? Once again, no, they're great. Hollow Knight, kind of spritey or pixely. I think they use a pixel filter. Which I might try that. I might try that out, just to see what it does to my artwork. But yeah, like that, I'm kind of in the stages right now where I can start actually trying to get the vibe and the feel for designing stuff, because I'm getting close to being done with the scripting. Last night I had to. maybe this is just me complaining and people aren't here to hear me complain, but I was trying to fix an error yesterday on one of my scripts, because what would happen is I'd made my character have 1 hit point, the crab would walk up and crush him, and he would die. And I'm like, okay, cool, I want like a 30-second timer, and then I want him to respawn, because like it's a tower defense game, so as long as your tower is up, you're alive. So it's like, yep, 30-second timer, cool. I would come back to life, and the crabs would completely ignore my character.
Oh no.
They're just like, who that? What? Well, who that be? We don't know who that is. And I'm like, what is going on? And I troubleshooted it for like 4 hours, and I rebuilt the crab script, the crab's movement script, the crab's targeting script, the player's death script, the player's I had to build a script that like turned off and on the exact things I wanted to make sure that they weren't breaking. And then it turned out what was happening was when I was dying, it would turn off all the things, and when I turned it back on, it turned all of them on except one item. And I just missed it. I missed it for 4 hours, and now I went through that, and I'm rebuilding like the inventory screen, like all this other stuff. So I was chasing ghosts, and I got a shit ton of other work done because I was just chasing things down. It was really funny, but in the end, it worked out really well. But it was all because I just missed it. I just missed one line of code, and I was like, my script worked, but it didn't do what I wanted it to do because of that one little line of code. I was like, oh man. I'm happy to paint backgrounds for practice. I need to rebuild a resume if I want to escape healthcare. Yeah, that's always fair. That's always fair. I don't need backgrounds yet, but we'll see where we go. I do eventually want people to make characters for this game. Like, not like I want them to design them. Chorus came up with one last night, which I think will be fun. So that's on the list now of like shit to do. And I hope to get to the point once the code is like stable enough that I can essentially once a week just make a new character for the game. And that could be like, it could be a monster, it could be an actual player. It might be a level or something. Just I want to make sure I'm getting like one big chunk thing done every week. And hopefully we'll get it up on Steam and people can play it. And I think that'll be fun. I don't know why, but for some reason I'm considering my Gravity Falls OC, given I have had no art for him, though I don't know how I can make him interesting enough to sketch. I mean, we usually do fantasy stuff, so you could give him like an impromptu class. Yeah, I don't know.
I almost said you cannot tell me that Gravity Falls is not fantasy.
No, yeah, you're right. But I mean, like, if you just said draw Dipper, right? It's like,
Yep.
It's a guy with a kid with a hat, and a vest. But if you gave me like Dipper, Vampire Slayer, but he's got like a baseball bat, right? Like, give me a class, give me a description of what makes them not just a dude. Because like Seuss is like a handyman. He's maybe an engineer or a artificer or something.
Yeah.
Spice it up. Okay, I'm down with rugby. Let's move on. Where are my dice? I don't want to use the dice because it'll wake up the boy. Orchids on Bikes Fantasy is a class-based system fantasy. Yeah, it's really good. I have a playlist of like a lot of some video game songs, but mostly just like weird techno stuff. I guess I was listening to a lot of Johnny Cash and Bob Dylan yesterday, and then the Gravity Falls theme song popped up. I was just like, okay, great. Too high. I'm gonna get copyright struck. Don't do that. Curse you, Disney. A coconut crab with a large hat collection due to his dream of one day wearing a shell. Coconut crabs are all shell, though.
Coconut crabs are related to hermit crabs.
Are they? I guess they are.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
They're not true crabs. They're in the same clade as hermit crabs. I got the joke.
Okay. So this is the Rook, by the way, the character on the top left. It's just Dragoon. Like 100%. It's just Dragoon. I was like, I
Of
want to
course.
redraw a Dragoon. Done.
Look, none of us expected you to build any other class for your stand-in character.
I have Corvus and I gave Corvus this, but and so we have to update it because Corvus gave me some good feedback. But I have a script laid out so that people can kind of like input, like, here's my character, here's what type of character they are, here's the things I want for them. So I'm working on that, and hopefully I'll be able to give that to like the chat pretty quick. The next, maybe this week, maybe next week. And then that way I'll have like a big reservoir of like, these are the characters I want to play, and we can go from there. That'll be really fun. Not saying that they'll all get put in the game, but you know, if enough of them have like a good archetype, that's worth exploring, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see you do all the holy symbols for your home game gods at some point. Oh, I think all of my home game gods are Pathfinder gods.
I was gonna say I've only ever seen you use 2 of them.
I only have
Nessus and Serenary.
Yeah, and then I have Sandro, which is technically Kevin the Necromancer's imparted deity, which is just a character from Age of Empire, I think. Is it Age of Empire? No, Heroes of Might and Magic. I think it's a character from Heroes of Might and Magic 3 that he turned into a necromantic god. So do it that way.
As one does.
Yeah. So my first thought, give him rat ears. Old Man McGucket's lab assistant. That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Yeah. I'll put it on a list for you.
Sounds like an artificer or inventor if we're doing Pathfinder to me.
James Lab Rat McGuckin. That's just how I'm putting it. That's what I remember. Okay. It's a banger of an intro.
It super is. Like, right now I can hear it playing in my head over and over again, and it is like igniting endorphin receptors.
Could
In my
anybody
brain.
give me a picture of a coconut crab? Because I'm just going to make them the way I think crabs look for my game. Because that's all I've got. Which is mostly stolen from Jonas, so... I had a moment yesterday.
Everything is facehugger.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Nope, you're good.
Yeah, I just wrote down the McGucket thing so I'd remember what you said. Jonas sent me some crabs, and I was like, yeah, these are great. And I built them into the game, and I put them into the game, and then I was sending out the Patreon rewards, and I put one of the crabs on a sticker, like a little card. And I was like, wait, is this one I drew or one Jonas drew? And I was like, oh, no. And it took me a minute. I'm pretty sure I sent out the one that I drew. Let me double check. Now I'm second guessing myself again.
There's a couple of coconut crabs and then a hermit crab, just
Thank you.
for reference.
Yes, Jonas made the red one and the yellow one, and I made the blue one. Okay, we're good. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. But yeah, no, like, Jonas has such good shape language, like volumetric shape language, that I was like, make a crab and make it as simple and stupid as possible. And this is what he gave me, and it's awesome. And I love it. It's so good. So, Jonas, thank you. You've inspired me to make a whole bunch of crabs. This is the one I did.
No, I did the crab eater, which was like the little hammer dude.
Little samurai. Whoa, he's good.
Yep.
Got the crab hat. I like the crab hat. That's a cool idea. Giving him a shell shield was pretty funny too. Oh, good lord. They're so creepy.
Yes. I told you, they are face huggers.
Yeah.
I know all crabs can be just, you can just say that's just a face hugger. Coconut crabs are especially like, that thing is legit a face hugger. It is built to latch onto a spherical object about the size of a person's head, maybe a little bit smaller, and then tear it to fucking pieces. They are.
I really was going to say something wildly inappropriate, but I'm glad you went the way you did.
Yeah. Nope. They are scary.
Well, this has to be a boss now.
They'll regularly like capture like seagulls and just kill them and eat them.
Well, yeah, because crabs will eat anything. And just because they prefer coconuts doesn't mean it's the only thing they eat.
Coconuts? Oh my god. Coconuts don't run away. So they're just easier to catch.
All iterations of crab are bottom feeders.
I've taken it upon myself while I've been designing this game to do all the animations with scripting.
Uh-huh.
For no reason. I just like, hey, that would be fun to try.
Well, I assume part of the reason was to learn how to do it.
Yeah, because like I've done like sprite sheet animation and stuff in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So like I could do that. I could 100% just stop doing what I'm doing and do that. But it's more work, and I didn't want to get like I'm the kind of person that would stop and get bogged down making like an animation for 2 days.
Yep.
And it's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to try to animate everything. So I kind of want to show off the animation I came up with for the crabs. So I'm gonna, because I can.
Hell yeah.
I'll do a quick transition-y here. I need to make like a Unity. There we go. Okay, here. I think it's really funny. I think it's really, really funny. Dash over here. Watch this bad boy. Well, they just punch, and they killed me. That's it. I think it's really funny because they just have big claws and they just go wham, wham, wham. I need to make an the sound, and the sound should just be me going whomp, 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 whomp.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like in Minecraft, the sound to take something out of an item frame is one of the developers going.
Yeah, I love it. There's gonna be a lot of stuff like that, I think, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to make a game, because they're just fun. Like, I'm trying really hard not to get trapped in the. There's a common thing that happens with game designers, especially if they're working for their own stuff, like making their own games,
Mm-hmm.
and it's that they like try to incorporate a lot of personal jokes.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's got to be funny in and itself. It can't be a reference, right? Because not everyone will get the reference.
Totally. I think that a lot of developers have, and actually show developers for TV have fallen into that trap since like Arrested Development made it a thing.
Which is funny. It's not so bad in an era where you can binge watch.
Yeah.
Because then you're always good. But like when you're trying to just introduce somebody to something, it's like, I don't get it. I don't get what's going on. So you gotta be careful with that kind of stuff.
All right, I'm done with my warm up. I'm ready to go.
Okay. Only a D12.
Yeah. 5.
A 5. Big, scary, white-furred Leonid barbarian dude with a big scar on his neck and chest. I feel like I've drawn a version of this guy every week. Which could be the case. Could be the case. Big scarred barbarian.
White Leonin Barbarian.
I keep losing my chat. There it is.
Garon
Once it's ready for early
Face.
access, all the small list of content creators that I think could enjoy a demo of this. Yeah, I think so too. I think there's. I'll make sure I put that out. I think I'm gonna for sure do something with the Patreons for sure, and then we'll probably roll out to Discord and then just Steam as a whole. Because the big thing about this that I think is missing in a lot of tower defense games is multiplayer. Same thing with platformers. That's really what I want to look into, is like making those games fun as multiplayer games. I just played one the other day that was very much like Played Up. People know what Played Up is, or I can't remember what the other one's called, Cooking Something. Where you have to like cook food and serve it, but in this case it was a tower defense game where you had to like make bullets and then carry the bullets to the guns. And so it's all teamwork, and it was really fun, and I love that kind of interaction. So yeah, I love that concept for a game.
Was it set in space?
No, it was a fantasy setting.
Okay.
Like
So
you're building
I've got
catapults and ballistas and stuff.
Yeah. I've seen a game similar to like the style of game you're describing, with just the little potato people, and it's based off of Star Trek actually. So you like instead of in a kitchen, you're in a spaceship fighting, like getting attacked, fighting space battles. And you have to run around, like you got to keep track of the fire extinguisher. There's like a teleporter. There's all sorts of funny stuff. Yeah, it's entirely designed around multiplayer gameplay, and it's very funny.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil the next game I want to make, because I'm gonna stay on the game I'm making.
Yep.
But trying to find that mechanic where what's the benefit of having multiple people is hard. Like that's the tough part. So I think I have a pretty good one for a platformer, but I'm still trying to figure that out with this game. But once again, this game is basically designed for, could we even do the stuff I want to do in a platformer? Let's try it on a different setting where like jumping and character tracking isn't. Really, like, we were originally going to start with a fixed camera, then we're like, we can just make it follow the player. Let's do that. That's fun. So yeah, who knows? But I'll make sure people get to play it and stuff. Arc Knights. Arc Knights is basically Hollow Knights, but with multiplayer, right? Did they just reskin it? I guess Hollow Knight is really just Mega Man with roguelike elements.
Yeah.
But
and bugs.
yeah.
Instead of robots.
The Metroidvania is pretty cool. It's an anime tower defense. Oh, interesting. Yeah, send me a link in Discord. I'll check it out. I can just Google it later, I guess, but I don't want to forget. We're going to give this guy a potion bottle, and I think we're going to call him good. Okay. Here's how this character would work in the video game. He's got a bunch of books on his back. He casts magic. Crawls out of the water at the player, and then just fireball. Non-stop fireballs. I'm not gonna lie, I have designed the game that way to where the enemies can shoot and cast spells at you. So I will figure that out. It's gonna be chaos. That's what I want. I just want chaos, but controlled chaos. You know? Helldivers 1 was originally a twin stick shooter. and I am a huge fan of twin stick shooter genres. And then things like Vampire Survivor and the alike, like the Survivor games, I really dig, but I do miss the twin sticks, right?
Yeah.
Because what Vampire Survivor has done is essentially gotten rid of the targeting and just let you only do controlling, which is cool because, how do you make something, like, distill it to what's good about it? You make it simpler, and that's what they did.
Yep.
Like, yeah, twin stick shooters are fun because you get lots of upgrades and, like, can do crazy shit. And it's like, yeah, okay, let's focus on that. So
I really like the idea of not doing that for your game, because Vampire Survivors like games are flooding the market, and
no. So this is,
they're good. Like it's a cool thing to add to the genre, but we can have other things now.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think the thing that distilled out was that people like wild upgrades, and then like Helldivers, I think, has that really nice. Helldivers, the thing that it brought to the first one, and now in the second one they've reiterated on, is like the chaos of too many monsters, which is something that the Vampire Survivor games do.
Yes.
But with Helldivers, it's a lot more about like you choosing which guns and how you're using them, and being fine-tuned with that aiming, right? Like that's really important, and so much so that you can kill your teammates with it. So I'm trying to make something that's a nice balance between those two, with in regards to like chaos and actually having control of your character. And if I can figure out something that will like make multiplayer highly functional, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. Gorvis, you said you had like wild Pathfinder news today, and we haven't talked about that yet. Gorvis might be gone.
He and I talked a little bit about it. That's part of it is the, I think part of it is the giant heritage.
Oh yeah. Well, I want Corvus to be able to talk to Chad about it.
Yeah.
He was very excited about it. So don't steal his thunder.
Oh, all right.
He is the lore.
He is our lore librarian.
Okay, there we go. That's what I got. Crabs are terrifying. Starting over?
Yep. I put too much detail into the head before I built any of the body, and totally lost the plot. I'm also having a little bit of trouble figuring out how I'm going to do white, because this background is just a little bit lighter than.
You're going to darken it up?
Yeah, I can fuzzy up, give myself a dark background.
I'm rolling the dice. Oh yeah, Corvus be right back. Well, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Too high. 10. Oh, that's the James Reed Lab Rat McGuckin. Okay, I gotta channel my inner Gravity Falls now. I'm worried about doing something that is purposefully a different style. That's one of the reasons I don't do the fan art, because then people just start doing like this, but this, and it's like,
Yep.
So I'm gonna take a quick look at Gravity Falls. Straight lines, circular heads, big eyeballs, round nose. Okay, I think I can do it. But then I'm gonna try really hard not to get stuck on it, I'm not gonna try to emulate the style exactly. But we are essentially gonna do something like this. Long bodied. feel like McGucket wouldn't let him sleep very much.
Yeah. I think that's a fair assumption. Well, I'm in Panther territory, so that's an okay place to be.
I don't think the eyeballs touch. Oh, they do. They do touch. They always touch. Okay. Good to know. That is something you would write on a character sheet. Like a... oh, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called now.
Style sheet?
Style sheet, yeah. Eyes must touch. God, I want to just leave the eyes blank. Shit. I guess rats have black eyes. Black or red, I guess?
The only eye color I know for rats is for albino, and it's hot pink.
Yeah. No, I don't like the velvet hair.
Ah, I've forgotten how to draw torsos. Ow, that's my specialty.
That's the thing I like.
Like, yeah.
You are the body is facing this way, and the
Yep.
pecs are facing this way.
Yep. part of that was on purpose because I
Okay.
was trying to do a contrapposto thing. But yeah, it's not meshing the way I wanted it to.
Remember to connect your hips and your ribs. The booty. All right, lab coat. I don't remember what lab coats look like.
They're kind of just like shapeless, long white coats.
Taper a little bit at the waist. I've been watching. I don't want to make it sound like I'm only watching this because of the kid, because like I've already watched it. But I've been trying to get the kid to watch DuckTales, the new DuckTales.
Oh yeah.
So whenever he's just like super pissed off or something, I'll sit down and turn that on. He doesn't really watch it, but like I like that it's on. He has the option, and it's good. It's so good. The new season, like they really took something, because like the old DuckTales is actually kind of hard to watch.
Yeah,
It's so weird and so dated.
And so like nothing canonically ever happens.
Yeah,
right. Like
it's very much an '80s like serialized thing. And the new one is more like, here's a storyline that we're going to put through the whole thing, and it's super good.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched the new DuckTales, I highly recommend it.
Got a fucking all-star cast.
Yeah, it's like David Tennant and what's the other guy's name? There's a handful of people in there that are pretty popular.
Yeah. Popular and like known for being exceptional at their craft.
Ben something. Ben Schwartz? Might be Ben Schwartz. I could have been Turbo. There's a lot of funny things in that show. Which also, while I'm sad they didn't remake Darkwing Duck, they did give it its time in DuckTales, which I super appreciate. They made Launchpad real dumb, which I don't remember him being that dumb in the old one.
I remember. Yeah, I don't remember him being like dumb, just like oblivious. Like he just didn't pay attention.
He was slightly incompetent, but like in this one, he's real dumb, which is kind of funny. They do a good job.
Launchpad is also like a really good name.
What's that?
Name for Launchpad is a really good name for a character.
Mm-hmm. No, he was done before. Okay. I think one of my favorite gags so far has been like gyro gear loose. They'll be like, okay, so how is this invention you're showing us not going to turn evil and try to kill everybody? And he's like, it's just like it's an ongoing thing. What reassurance do we have? 60-40. Okay, what am I missing? Everybody's got some kind of facial inclusion. I might just Seuss it up. Done. That was it. That's all we needed. Oh, PBS in the Disney Power Hour? Interesting. Okay, there is... Huh? Huh? Sorry. Getting a little close there, buddy. Snarf.
Don't look at me like that when I'm drawing braids. Hard enough as it is.
I think I'm getting better at, like, animating things on the screen. Because I've been thinking about doing that I tried it once or twice on YouTube Shorts before I just made the real puppets. I was like, hey, what's going on? I thought about actually animating a whole video with Photoshop's, like, sprites. Which maybe I'll do that with the game characters when I want to make, like, introductions and stuff for that. Just be like, Mah! See how that goes. The kid has been asleep for like an hour.
That's good.
It's good and bad because it means he's gonna wake up and be hungry. But also, whatever. I guess we've only been streaming for 30 minutes, so we're fine. It's been 30 minutes.
I'm moving pretty a lot faster than I thought it was. Then,
4.
which is reassuring.
We're buzzing through these. Paleo accurate petrofolk. Oh, I think it's supposed to be like a pterodactyl. Ptera.
Yeah.
What don't I know about them? That they look like birds? Yep, they're fuzzy.
Yep.
Okay. Got it.
They fuzzy and probably colorful. I love this pterosaur. I can never remember what it's called, but it essentially had baleen. And I like that they think that it probably was pink like a flamingo.
Interesting. Is that not the Quetzalcoatl?
No, Quetzalcoatlus is huge.
Okay.
And Quetzalcoatlus had a smooth beak.
Okay.
Paradostro is what this is called, I think. It had a combed lower part of its beak, and we think it glided over the ocean and like skimmed the surface and filter fed from the air.
Do I include the giant neck? That's the question. I think I almost have to.
Yeah, I think you probably should. Oh, you're drawing a dong.
Yep. Big old floppy dong. Nightmare fuel. It's a geoduck. Geoduck or gooey duck? Two different things. Jordan, welcome in.
Hey, Elizabeth Afton. I'm not sure how to carry this scar into the neck when it's a Leonid and there's going to be just tons of mane.
Yeah. You could just discolor like a patch of the mane.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I don't know what the pterodactyl bros are. Sorry. The eyes are really unsettling, but I appreciate you doing this. Yeah, no problem. I think it's important that the eyes are rat eyes. I guess they could have been tiny rat eyes, but that would have been creepy. And Gravity Falls is creepy, but not in that way.
Yeah, they're creepy thematically, not in style, not in art style at least, most of the time.
I mean, pulling the teeth out of a deer is pretty creepy, but it doesn't look creepy when they do it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, what you're saying is right. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
Completely agreeing with you.
Yeah, and well, like I am only saying that if they had chosen a slightly different style, The Haunting of Northwest Manor would have been a much more horrific episode.
There's an episode of Adventure Time where they're fighting a deer. And it breaks Finn's legs, and then it like takes off its hoof gloves, and it has fingers, and it's like, what the fuck?
I hated that episode,
It's
and
such
also
a good
loved
gag.
it.
Like it's so unsettling. It's so unsettling without like there's no real gore. It's not like it's just weird and unsettling, and it's like very subtle.
Weird, yeah. Absolutely threatening. It made everybody I know who watched it like everybody I know who ever watched that knows exactly what you're talking about, because the image is burned into our brains permanently. It was a really, really good choice.
And so like the scene where Bill Cipher pulls the teeth out of the deer, like it's on that vein of just like seeing something surreal happen.
Yeah.
But for some reason, the Adventure Time made it way creepier. So, yeah.
I think they had I do think that it's partly because they had a slightly creepier art style.
Mm-hmm. Elizabeth, welcome in. I don't know who that is, and we generally don't draw fan art, so I'm sorry. A cat-owl hybrid with a bell collar in your latest post is on the list? What? I suggested a cat-owl hybrid with a bell collar in your latest post. Is that on the list? I assume, Jordan, unless you just did it. Once again, like I think we talked about this last week, like if you get it in before the episode, it should be on the list.
And also a cat-owl hybrid is just an owl.
That's true. I will check. I don't see it, so I'm assuming you just posted it just now? Is that what happened? No, it's right there. I see it. Yep, it is on the list. We're good. Dang it, I've lost chat now. Hold on. This one. Uh-oh. Not a cowl. Dang it. There we go. Okay, we're back. Isn't that just a griffin? Kind of. Depends on how big of a cat it is, I suppose. It is on the list.
Owls are just a little bit dumb, really angry, and significantly lighter than they should be. All floof and anger, or floof and resentment, like like a flying cat pillow, basically. They want to kill everything.
Griffins are lions and owls, right? I believe so. What? I'm thinking of hippogriff says horse. Horse, lion, eagle.
Yeah. Griffins are eagle and lion.
Would these guys have wing arms? I don't see why not. you seen that one video of a guy who had an owl on his house, so he just had to slowly get it onto the edge of the mop and take it outside via a window? That's pretty funny.
I think I have. Pretty much the only shorts I get, because I've got a no
No YouTube scrolling?
I've got a no I've got a no doom scroll policy. I'm not allowed to scroll. I only get what pops up in my feed, and that means that most of my shorts are animal shorts. Getting a lot of cats lately, which I love. I'm also getting a lot of art stuff lately, which I also love.
That's good.
I'm back.
Welcome
Hey,
back.
welcome back.
Did you want to talk about your Pathfinder shenanigans?
Oh, not really. I was going to I mainly want to just talk with you two. So,
Oh, okay.
unless someone in the chat would like to know,
Well, now that you've asked that, the chat is definitely going to say yes.
you say this. Chat could care less about Pathfinder.
Chat,
probably.
do you care about new Pathfinder stuff? Elliot doesn't count. Only because Elliot's always in the Discord talking about it with us. So
Yep.
I'll give other people in chat. Elliot is a like all tabletop RPG connoisseur.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are we on Twitch? I don't see anybody in Twitch talking, which is fine. Like, no shade. I just want to make sure we're on Twitch.
Joe Crow was here.
Okay, Joe Crow is on Twitch, so that's fine.
I don't know if they still are. Says there's 3 viewers.
Don't need a pinky. Just discover. Don't need the pinky. Just the. There we go. That looks good. It would be if it wasn't glitchy. Gotcha. Okay. Was that still Corvus?
Yes.
Oh, you mean who is that in the call? Yeah. So Corvus is here, and so is Druid. Blue is Druid.
I just dipped out for food and ate my food in peace.
Oop. Aggie exploded. There we go.
Yeah, I've been having a couple hiccups and rubber banding as well.
Oh, it was just oatmeal. 2 bowls of it.
What did I make the other day that was really good? Oh, I made Spanish rice. That was it. That was good.
Just Spanish rice.
Yeah, it was just Spanish rice. It wasn't anything fancy. I used a turkey sausage of some kind. That was really good. What can
Well,
I
I
say?
guess
I loved a game, and I liked a game to fit the theme. Unfortunately, the all-in-one approach is not less expensive. Yeah, I can see that. I really want to get the new Pathfinder books, but
Yeah, it's just they're so expensive.
they're so expensive. And there's a new one all the time.
Yep.
And I haven't been doing any commissions because I've been working on a video game. I
Yep.
guess that's the other way around, though. Like, people want commissions. I'm open for commissions. I've been working on the video game because I don't have any commissions right now.
Yep.
I could be working on a YouTube video. I suppose.
Not that you're ignoring commissions
Correct.
to work on a video game.
I just don't have any. Because the economy
Exactly.
sucks.
Everything crashed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's burning.
Let's not
Yep, yep.
anymore.
Spiral into depression. I should be working on a new YouTube video. Is what I should be doing. Maybe I should make a video about making a game. You're like, hey, I'm making a game.
Yeah, put it out there.
Well, I guess I could.
Ask for donations.
Please send money. Click that super chat.
Yep.
Send it in the mail. There's like no way to give people money without paying somebody else. That sucks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drive it to my house. Using somebody else's car and gas money. End up with a game that you can do the most rather than the game that is the best fit. Oh, yeah. Totally similar to ravioli, but in a different shape. Yeah. Baked. I'm a big fan of like baked ravioli and baked tortellini. I used to do that like once a week, and now I have high blood pressure, but it's good. It's real good.
Tastes nice. Filling and comforting.
Mm-hmm. You want to make something seem fancy, just bake it. Bake it when it's done. Okay, I think I'm done with this bad boy. I think this is pretty good.
Bad boys.
I kind of want to do something like this. Give him like a little headdress. Just for some more visual interest. You got that long neck, you got to do something with it, right? Like,
Yeah, totally.
I really like wonton soup. But tortellini soup is also good. Yeah. It's not as good as wonton soup, but it's good.
Yep.
What are your favorite animal hybrids? I mean, owlbears are pretty great. It's hard to beat an owlbear.
I'm a big fan of manticores.
Manticores are good.
I've stated this several times.
Sure.
They're just great.
Satyrs. No one surprise.
What? You really like satyrs? Who would have thought?
I didn't think about them being a combo. Well done.
Yeah. If it combined with people.
Technically
It's-
still an animal, yeah.
Yeah. If we're talking about just like animal, just like beastly sort of chimeras, I'm not sure.
I was going to start a sentence with I'm not a furry butt. I roll some dice. 2. A Leshy fighter with a cavalier depiction riding a Leshy mount. What? A Leshy fighter with the cavalier dedication. Okay, riding a Leshy mount. So it's a tree riding a tree. I generally don't do 2, but I definitely want to draw a Leshy cavalier, so I'm going to do that first, and we'll see where we go. We'll see where we go. I just like plain wontons filled with cream cheese. Chinese food is the shaz. Yeah, Chinese food's pretty good. I'm a big Mexican food. Like, I love it. It's so good. It goes Mexican food, then Chinese food, and then like Japanese and Peruvian foods. Fair enough.
Figured.
It just exists
Figured,
already.
dude.
Corvus done. Oh, I turned it
Like,
on. I really like keeping all of the things I'm drawing like on the page.
Mm-hmm.
But when Druid draws with me, I just don't have the space for it, which is sad. And I like Druid drawing with me, and I would prefer you draw with me, but I also like keeping things on the... I guess I could turn off rugby. Like, I don't need rugby here. People know what rugby looks like. I would much rather have a Druid drawing with me
than a page full
of scribbles. Okay, it did say Leshy, didn't it? I was thinking Garands. I was going to draw Garand, so I do need to draw a Leshy. I've still not drawn Cranberry Granola Crunch.
Is this art from something else?
Yeah, it was the Skull Kid I drew for when we did the Sagas one shot for Legend of Zelda. Mexican food is good too. My usual Mexican order is a plate of nachos with chicken, shrimp, and steak. Nice. I'm a big enchilada fan. I love me a good enchilada. Yeah. Enchiladas are like taco salad. Like, good taco salad is fucking amazing.
I don't think I've ever had a good taco salad.
We used to do, we fry our own tortilla bowl, and then we'd fill it full of beans, like refried beans in the bottom, and then all of your all the like taco filling.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'd put black beans on top, and then the lettuce, and then all like the regular taco things, like avocado and tomato.
Yep.
And then just like sour cream and pour salsa on top of it. Oh, so good. It's essentially upside down nachos. Well, inside out nachos, I guess. But what if burrito, but outside fried? Yeah. I love it. Salsa as a salad dressing is just good. I don't know if you guys have ever had a taco pizza.
No.
Pizza Hut sells them, but they don't tell people that they sell them. And I used to work at a Pizza Hut, and I was like, the hell is a taco pizza? And then I tried it, and it's fucking amazing.
We don't have any... We don't have a Pizza Hut near us anymore. It got shut down in like 2019.
So instead of having marinara, it's just refried beans and cheese, and that's all you bake on it. You can also put ground beef on it. I think it's ground beef on it too if you want. I usually don't do that. I just do the beans. And then you cook it, and then after the fact, you cover it in lettuce and put sour cream and black olives and like jalapenos, and then you have salsa and you pour on it, and it's basically a taco salad, but it's a pizza. And it's super good. I love it. Any hole in the wall over them? Oh yeah, no, Pizza Hut is terrible. Like, it goes in my mind. It's like Papa Murphy's. We don't eat it to Papa John's. We just don't. So that's not on the list. Papa Murphy's if I want to cook my own pizza, right? And then Pizza Hut is actually not terrible, but it's expensive. So I don't usually order there. And then if I want cheap pizza, I go Domino's. And then if I hate myself, I'll go to like Little Caesars. But this is just like, I need fast pizza, right? Any like Neapolitan stone oven or New York style pizza that's just like super thin and kind of burnt on the bottom. Oh, I love it. It's so good.
Yep.
And it's hard to find those places. There was one in Moscow that was really, really good. There was one in Boise that was really good, And here there's an okay place, but it's kind of expensive and not as good. So like that pizza should be cheap. It should be cheap and it should be amazing. And a lot of places make it really expensive and kind of bland. So of course I got to draw the gourd, Leshy. I've worked at a lot of weird places. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, same.
But I've never worked at a Mexican restaurant. Oddly enough, maybe that's why I like it so much. There's a big Mexican restaurant in Utah where everything seems to have cilantro.
Yep. If we're talking about the same place, it was started by some missionaries who went to proselyte down in Mexico. Realized that the shitty Tex-Mex that we had here before them was hot garbage because it wasn't even good Tex-Mex. It was just super cheap. Like it was filling and it was tasty, but it was mostly refried beans and cheese.
There's precedent for that being good though.
Hey kid. Hey man, what's going on? Oh, so sad. So sad.
Anyway, they those missionaries started a franchise and
I think it's
I
like,
mean it's
the same thing,
Yeah.
right? It's like if you want
Yeah.
fast, like there's Taco Bell, and I would prefer like Taco Time over Taco Bell.
Yep.
Bell. But like that's
Wait,
fast, right? And then there's sit down Mexican restaurants, which are like they're all the same. It doesn't matter where you go. They have a
Yep.
formula. It's that. And then there's like really good Mexican restaurants that are
Yeah.
kind of hard to find, especially around here.
The place
Go.
the place we're talking about in Utah is kind of like a Utah specific equivalent of Chipotle,
Oh, so like
actually.
yeah, okay. I would put those like in here, right? Like strip mall
Yeah,
Mexican places, like
Yeah,
Chipotle is a good way to do it, or Chipotle, or what's the other?
fresher than Taco Bell, but
Yeah.
still not like.
What's the one that does the really good burrito bowls? The naked burrito bowls. It's not Chipotle. Shoot. Blah.
Doba?
Qdoba, yeah. I like Qdoba. Qdoba's good.
I've never been there.
You go there, you get a naked burrito bowl where they just give you like rice, beans, and all your toppings, and then like you ask them for a tortilla anyways, and they're like, "Yep, here you go." And then they steam the tortilla. Oh, so good. Oh, tiny man. Gotta slap the baby. Get all the bubbles out. You good? You don't know? Need some food? Costa Vida? I think Costa Vida falls into that, like, chain Mexican place, doesn't it? Barbacoa.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Barbacoa, I don't know if it was actually a Mexican place. They did some, like, tapas and stuff, which is fun. When I get to the monster book from Draw Steel, I'm going to have to show off some of the art in Discord. See if it triggers enough response to include them in the future viewer suggestion. It's chain quality. Okay. I really like pho and ramen. There's like one or two really good ramen places around here, and then there's like two really good pho places. One is cheap and just good, and one is really expensive and super good. And then there's a lot of really bad pho places around here. And it always surprises me how like the quality can change when it's like the same recipe. It's just,
yeah.
It's just all about ingredients.
Making sure all the ingredients are properly charred before they go in.
Something.
I mean, if the restaurant isn't doing that bare minimum of making pho, it's not real pho.
Yeah.
You gotta like char the onions and the ginger.
Is that what I do wrong? Maybe that's what I do wrong. When I make it at home.
Like it has to be like blackened.
My problem is like my broth is never clear. So like I tried something different last time to like strain it, and that worked better. But I did way too much ginger. So I was like, So.
Yeah, normally for to get like a super clear broth, what they do is which goes against everything that people tell you about food safety, they'll rinse the meat before they'll boil it, and then they'll take it out and like rinse it again, get off all the scum, and then make the stock out of it.
Oh, interesting.
That's kind of like how you're meant to get a super clear broth. And like taking a little skimmer and like skimming off any junk that comes off the top.
If I ever made it to Emerald City or another Washington area con, I will have to hit you up for some street food suggestions. Yeah, I don't eat street food.
Too expensive.
That's part of it. Part of it is because it's expensive, but part of it is because kid, I just don't go out. I just don't go.
Yep.
So like, even though I live real close to Seattle, I have no idea. I have no idea what to eat down there.
The fact that you literally cannot eat any salt is another contributing factor.
Yeah, I mean, like, good ramen places in South Center Mall. So, like, that's not something you go to if you are in downtown Seattle, right? Here in downtown Seattle, there's a bunch of, like, touristy places that are just really expensive. Yeah. So I don't go there. Right? Like, I'm a local, so I don't go to the expensive places.
Yeah. I had a girlfriend in college who was local Seattle. And we went and we did a bunch of the touristy stuff, but like she very specifically, we did not go to any touristy restaurants.
Yeah.
In Pike's Place.
Like, my parents came into town and they're like, let's go out. I'm like, well, we should eat before we go. And they're like, no, we'll just get something while we're there. And I'm like, okay, if you want to pay for $30 fish and chips, like that's your prerogative. But,
I assume they thought better of it after that.
Since then, yeah, they haven't done that anymore. 'Cause, like, the thing that people don't realize is, like, Seattle is pretty big. Like, there's a lot there.
Yeah.
But it's condensed. So, like, kid.
Like a smaller New York.
Kind of. Except it's, yeah. So while, yes, if you're in downtown and you're just walking around, like, sure, find one of the little bodegas or something and stop there. Like, there's a lot of coffee shops and stuff that are worth going. There's a macaroon shop by Pike's Place. Is it by Pike's Place or is it by Chinatown? I think it's by Chinatown. Super good. It's like $4 a macaroon, though. Once again, touristy things. Don't have fresh seafood here. Oh, I don't have fresh seafood. That's true. Yeah, if you go down to Pike's Place, there's some really good places on the pier that are just wildly expensive, like $60-$70 a person. for like a crab boil. So you go there and you're like 4 people crab boil, do it, and it's $7.
$500.
Yep, I've done that. But it is really good. Now, mind you, if you're not downtown, you can drive 10 miles, 20 miles. I think it's 20 miles. So it can take you like an hour to get there, depending on where you live, just because of the congestion and stuff. But you can do the same kind of thing for, 20, 30 bucks.
Yep.
Because you're not on the pier. So, yeah, if you go to Seattle, it's worth branching out a little bit. But if you just want to hang out in Seattle for a day, like, go to Pike's Place. There are vendors at Pike's Place. Oh, okay. I do have one suggestion.
Oh.
If you're in Pike's Place, right across from the bathroom, right across from the bathroom, there is a tiny shop that literally the inside of it is like you see out the window. There is one table across, like that's it. There's like 4 tables inside. That's how small it is. And they have a to-go window. So I've never actually been inside this. I just go to the to-go window and I order one of their steam buns. They're so good. They're amazing. They have curry and barbecue steam buns. They're like $3 or $4. It's just like, yeah, give me a bunch of those. I'm gonna eat them all day. So every time people take me to Pike's Place because they're like, we want to do the tourist thing. It's like, cool. I'm getting a steam bun.
Also,
Kid.
Going back to Pho real quick, because I started digging deeper. Were you using the right spices for it?
For the pho?
Uh-huh.
I think so. I didn't have the fish sauce. The fish sauce I don't have because I don't keep it stocked because it smells awful.
Okay. I was going to say, another thing you're probably missing is probably fish sauce, but I understand that you probably can't use it because of your salt thing.
Yeah, and when I'm cooking stuff like that,
you just factor it into.
You factor it in,
Yeah.
Yeah, a good one has like star anise, fennel, coriander, 2 cinnamon sticks, clove, and black cardamom.
Yeah. Yep, I have those.
Which is probably the only one that probably hard to find is the black cardamom.
I get all my spices online. I have so many. No, the last time I did make it, I assumed my cinnamon was really old, so I used extra, and that was a bad idea. That was.
Oh, yep.
It wasn't the. It was not the. Whatever I said it was before. It was the cinnamon. It was the cinnamon that I overdid it with.
Too much ginger. You said it was too much ginger.
Yeah. No, I did way too much cinnamon.
Yeah, too much cinnamon can I would imagine just ruin that easily.
Yeah. Cinnamon is it's like cloves. You gotta be real careful with it.
Let me see if this kid wants some food.
We're back. Yeah, and the way you use this is like you keep them all whole, and so it's like 2 cinnamon sticks kept whole, so not ground.
Yep, I put 2 of them in there, and that was apparently too much.
But
I made a small batch. I made
yeah. This is probably like a gallon. Yeah. What I'm looking at. Beef knuckles.
Which you could probably substitute oxtail for just fine.
I would argue, I feel like beef knuckle or leg bones would be cheaper than oxtail.
Yeah, probably. But oxtail, beef knuckle, and shank, it's all basically the same thing.
How far is it from Seattle to Vancouver, though? It's rather close together, isn't it? Vancouver?
Which one?
British Columbia?
I think it's like an hour.
They're both on the Puget Sound, but the Puget Sound is huge.
It's huge, yeah. Like, if you're going to Canada, I think it's a little more than an hour to the Canadian border. If you want to go south to Vancouver, I think it's like 4 hours. Is that right? That doesn't sound right. 2 hours? It might be 2 hours.
I don't know. I've never been to Western Canada.
Never been west. I was gonna say I've never been west of Mississippi. That's a lie. I've not been farther west than the eastern tip of Oklahoma.
I don't think I've ever been to California. Like, living in Idaho.
I've been there lots.
Yeah.
Drew is a
years.
Cali girl.
I think the farthest I've ever been is Arizona. That's not right. Is that right? No, I went to New Mexico once.
Yep, Albuquerque.
Yeah, went to Albuquerque, New Mexico.
I was born in the Bay Area, San Francisco. We went back there every couple of years.
Yeah, Vancouver's not close to Seattle. Like, if you're going to Comic-Con, like, you could go to Tacoma. I don't know why you'd want to go to Tacoma, but you could.
Tell me how you really feel.
It was really funny. The first time we ever went to Tacoma, we went to like it doesn't matter where we went. But we went there, and it's only like 30 minutes from where I live, so I'm like, yeah, that'll be fine. We drove down there and we started talking to the people that were working there, and they were like, so is it true that people just talk shit about us all the time? And I was like, what? Like, I've never heard this. But apparently it's a thing for Tacoma people and Seattle people to just talk shit about each other.
Like, I wasn't born there, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I've only lived here like a year, and I don't go to Seattle, so. It's a joke in Germany. Yes, we have the sushi. Europeans think 200 miles is a long distance, where Americans think 200 years is a long time. Both equally ridiculous. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, like, I used to do 90-mile day trips. Like, from Boise, I would drive to McCall, which is 90 miles away, and I would do that every weekend. Just like, yeah, fuck it. I'll drive down there, hang out with my cousins, drive home, same day, like, no problem.
Yeah,
I had a job for about a year as a cabinet maker where I would commute to, it was an hour commute to and from work every day.
Yep. Pretty common.
Yep.
I would commute home like every 2 weeks from college, which was like 108 miles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Moscow to Boise, I think, is like 290 miles, and I would do that pretty regularly. I remember like my first semester at college, I didn't like using the laundry, college's laundry, because it was hot shit. Like, like you put your quarters in and then it wouldn't work. And it's just like, well, it might be cheaper just to use my gas and go home. When gas was cheap and I could get there around $20.
For everybody who's not from America, that is exactly why oil has been so important for America for so long.
If I traveled 130 kilometers, 90 miles, I'd cross 3-4 different countries. Yeah, I would still be in Idaho. Yep. Like,
I could make it a state over.
Yeah, mind you, like, it looks like this. This is Montana, and Moscow is, I think it's right here-ish. It's right here-ish. And so I would drive down to Boise, which is like right here. And now I live, like here, I think. And there's 2 ways to get to Boise.
Yeah, farther you go west, longer things are apart from each other. On the East Coast where I am, like, 90 miles can get you out of state. In some states on the East Coast, 90 miles get you out of state into like halfway across the other state.
Yeah. Rhode Island, for example, is real small.
Yep.
Yeah, like McCall, I think is like right here. So like I used to do this trip all the time, like nonstop. Sometimes I would just drive up there because I was bored, and it was like I'm gonna drive up there because it's a fun drive. Like it follows the river and it's just like super windy. This takes you about 2 hours, and then this takes you about 4 hours because this is all straight and you can go like you can speed. I used to love driving. Driving was really fun. It used to be my way of relaxing. And now it is expensive and, yeah, not as relaxing.
And people suck, so it's more anxiety reducing.
Yep.
Not very inducing. I unfortunately hate driving and do not do it anymore.
Utah driving is the worst.
Yeah.
There's two
state
types of
says
people.
that.
Two types of people that like are terrifying to me to be on the road. People from Canyon County, which is directly below where Boise is, who don't require people to take driver's education, which is terrifying. And in Canyon County, all the roads are just super long and straight, so everybody drives like a fucking maniac. And then they come into Boise and just like, get out of that way, and like scare the hell out of you. Then every time I've ever driven through Salt Lake, there's somebody who just does not care that other people exist on the road.
Yes.
And so it's like you're driving through Utah, it's fine. You hit about 10 miles around Salt Lake, and it's just like, I'm gonna die here, and then you leave and it's fine again. It's just like
that is a hallmark of driving on I-15.
Yeah. I once saw a man driving on the freeway, going faster than I was because he passed me, reading a book, and I was just like, nope, fuck this place, I'm out.
Yeah. That stretch of, well, maybe not that exact stretch of highway, but part of that stretch of highway is the hour commute that I was on, that I mentioned earlier, and I did not like it. And as soon as I had a better job, I quit immediately because I was like, I can't. Point of the mountain is a death trap.
There are plenty of people here that view Vegas as a weekend trip. Yeah, I think where I lived, I think Vegas was like 11 or 12 hours away, but like, I knew lots of people that would do that. They would just take off Friday at lunch, drive to Vegas, and come back Sunday night. Like, that's pretty normal. Now, it's probably cheaper to fly now. It used to not be the case. It used to be a lot cheaper to drive.
Yeah.
What are you chewing on, kid? What do you got?
Nice.
Is that a wire? Where'd you find the wire? Yeah, can I see it?
Okay. Got stuck under the desk. It's a 6 or 8 hour trip or an hour flight. Yeah. That's kind of the same thing here, like from Boise to Seattle. It's like a 2-hour flight, which is great compared to like the 10-hour drive. And it's like, and they both cost about the same right now. So it's like, what do I do? I'll be right back.
With the way some airlines treat passengers currently, I still probably would prefer to drive, despite the fact that I hate to drive. Alright, I gotta figure out this.
Ah, damn it.
No, I just realized this could be a drawing of Rookzer.
I'm back.
Rookzer is also a white lion.
Is the Hollow Knight character, does he have a lance or a sword? I think he's got a sword, right? I mean, like, it looks like triangle, but like, it's a sword, right?
Technically, it's a nail.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, it's called the nail, right?
Yeah, but he's a bug, so I'm pretty sure the joke is that it is a sword that is actually a nail.
The scale in that game
yes.
is kind of...
It is a sword.
Okay.
Because Wasp's
She's got
Wasp's weapon is a sewing needle.
Okay. Nubia's pro. I love Jeff the Shark, but only because he's a meme now. Like, it's a funny character. I'm glad they put him in the game. They gave him Kirby powers, which is not smart.
He eats people?
He can eat people and then move them and then spit them out.
Yep. Though he has been like...
So he's a ledge whore, is what it's called.
Yep.
That's the technical term.
People have learned how to deal with it, and I think they've, like,
Yeah.
nerfed it, so...
It's the same thing with Smash. Like, if you play somebody
Right.
that doesn't really know what's going on, you can troll the hell out of them with Kirby. But if you're playing a pro, you're going to get killed. Like, you can't do that to pro players. So it's a learning curve, and it's very easily exploitable. And, like, when you're just joining a game and you find something like that, it's like, I'm so good at this game. It's like, sure. It's still super funny.
I like that ledge whore is the actual term for it. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Makes sense though.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a bit of me when I played For Honor for a little bit.
Oh yeah. That For Honor was real bad about that. Just play all the characters with a charge move, just like
Yep.
and you're gone. I win.
Yep.
Next match.
Shove them off ledges into the water, into a geyser. I've done that a few times.
Yeah, the guy with the lance charge. That was so much fun. The best part, people started finding ways like you'd charge at them, and then if they could parry it right, you would charge past them, and then they would just kick you off the edge. and that's when I stopped playing that game. It's like, my fun's gone. But that game had a lot of cool ideas and promise, and it just didn't deliver all of them. Yeah,
That's too bad.
but it was still fun. It was a fun game. I'm a terrible driver. It's all exceeded because I'm easily intimidated, and it seems to trigger the SLC road rage. Driving in Phoenix is everyone goes fast, but they know how to merge. Yeah, that's how Seattle is too. There will always be one guy in Seattle traffic that like everyone is driving the same speed, which is usually like 5 or 10 over the speed limit, and then one person's just like, I gotta go, and it's just like, all right, thanks asshole, it's fine, whatever. But like everyone else also knows that guy, and it's just like, all right, just let him do his thing, let him feel like a big man in his little souped up sports car.
Yeah.
And then, but like everyone knows how to like let you merge. You use your signal, and everything works great. Like there's almost no conflict. And then there's always one person that's just like, I'm gonna fucking do what I want, and everyone like gets away from them because they're just like, fuck you, dude. Like don't do this. And you can tell when people are from out of town that don't respect that. So generally pretty nice driving here, unless you get downtown, in which case like all the roads are super tight and uphill, and it's not fun to drive, but it's doable. I think I'm about done. It's 12 o'clock. We could keep going, but I think I'm pushing it with the kid here.
Yeah. That's fine. We can end whenever. I'm just noodling on this,
Sure.
and it looks. Oh, the torso looks good.
We've got a few more we can do next on Friday here, which is good. So if we didn't get yours drawn today, we'll definitely try to get to it on Friday. Might be able to get through the whole list this week. That'd be kind of cool. Oh, I hear the kid playing with the fire poker stuff. I'll be right back.
Ah,
Hey.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I think you pooped. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I think that's it for the day. I'll probably be hanging out in Discord, working on some stuff. I was gonna draw another character for Corvus. What is SLC? Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City, Utah. Salt Lake City, Utah. That's not the accent
Worst
for
place
Utah,
on
but-
earth. I'm kidding.
What was that?
I said worst place on earth. I'm kidding.
There are worse places.
Yes, I live in one of them.
Go watch SLC Punks, and you will have no idea what happens in Salt Lake City. Still, big underground punk scene, which is really funny. Which makes sense. As Salt Lake City is Mormon capital of the world, and it's pretty repressed, so it makes sense that there is a big punk scene there.
yep.
That's all I got. Thanks for your suggestions today. Thanks for hanging out today, everybody. We'll be back on Friday, probably early again. So watch for earlier stuff. We are working on the game, which is a lot of fun. Hopefully we'll have something to show soon. If people do have comments or suggestions about that, I'm always open to hear them. And yeah, I'll be in the Discord hanging out, working on that today, which might be a lot of coding, but hopefully get some art done. Their commissions are open, so if you want to get a commission for something, hit me up in Discord, and we'll just see everybody on Friday. Thanks for hanging out. Stay happy, stay healthy, keep your dice on the table. We'll catch everybody later. Bye.
No.
Oh, Druid and Corvus, thank you
Yep.
for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it.
Yeah.